Hello friend! Today I'm going to share how to be an anti-ugly tourist.
And I'm going to share my most inspiring human. Let's get to it.
My cool sheet has to do with travel. I love travel. And I want to talk about a little bit different aspect of travel, and this is called regenerative tourism. I talked about this in episode 201. This is a really good take on something that we all love to do, and often when we think about travel, we think about escape. We think about getting away from it all, and it is very much a more self-centered thing because, of course, we want to take care of ourselves. We want to do something that's fun. We want to learn more about the world or spend time with family or friends, whatever it might be. And so we tend to then travel in that sense. But this is a much more selfless way of approaching how we travel. I learned about it from a multi-generational Hawaiian named Ikolu, who talks about this a lot because obviously Hawaii is a destination place to go for people to get away from it all. But there is a strain on ecology when tourists are visiting. And so this leads to, it's very common, this idea of leave no trace or leave as you found it, which was definitely a step up from just going somewhere and doing whatever the hell you want. But instead, can we do better? That is what regenerative tourism is all about. And this is the idea of leaving a place better than it was if you haven't visited. That is really mind-blowing because it's not normal at all, but this is where I am asking all of us to think about it, think about ourselves, think about the place that we're going, think about the people who live there with a lot more empathy and not just ourselves. Yes, of course, we need that break. We want that break, but how can we just be more mindful of the world around us when we go visit someplace? So this requires creativity to be able to come up with ideas of how you are going to do that. And I go into it a lot more when I described it originally in my cool sheet in episode 201, so you can go check it out there. Regenerative tourism.
Oh yes, this is such a good one. Thank you again for sharing this. It is something, I haven't traveled a lot because of COVID, of course, but it is a good thing to keep remembering and to do better.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're not traveling, think about that in your community. How are you leaving your community?
Yes.
Are you making it a better place? Because
Yeah.
I definitely live by that principle, but I think sometimes I'm in the minority. I don't think people think about where they live and are they making it a better place. Definitely when I go somewhere, though, I'm not thinking about that. And that's someone that it is on my mind more often than not. So I love this. Thank you so much for sharing this. I can't wait to travel again and now to practice this as well.
Yeah.
Because it'll be really fun too. Because you'll have to get creative. How can I make this better than I left it? What can I do? How can I help? I think of that was a workaway. That would be one of the things, of course. It definitely would fit into that very easily. That's definitely a pro tip that you have to check out that past episode as well. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. My cool sheet is going to be a human, and this is Derek Sivers. So I talked about Derek in episode 195, and Karen actually did talk about his video, How to Start a Movement, in her best of, but I really wanted to focus on the human because that could also be my best of as well. But I want to talk about the man behind it. So Derek is a musician, producer, circus performer, entrepreneur, TED speaker, and book publisher. He calls himself a monomaniac, introvert, slow thinker, and loves finding a new, different point of view. He's a California native, but now he lives in New Zealand. So yes, he started this, he had this video, How to Start a Movement. We've talked about it so much, but it's definitely worth checking out. Our best of episode 218 is where Karen talked about it. I liked when she shared it the most. But he wrote all these books. So Anything You Want in 2011, which at the time I talked about him originally this year, was the only book I read of his. Anything You Want, it was great. He's also wrote Your Music and People in 2020, Hell Yeah or No in 2022, which I read and is amazing. And then How to Live, which I am about 3/4 of the way through, and he wrote that in 2021. So he's been really busy in the last 2 years. All those books are good. They will They will change your perspective on things, maybe make you think about something. Maybe you won't change your mind, but maybe you will. It's definitely worth reading because I love that about him so much. He founded CD Baby when he lived in Portland, actually, which is our sister city. And he's just influenced my life so much. So different ways he's done it. He came up with this letter. So every time you purchased a CD, when you bought something at CD Baby, he created this elaborate story about how they're throwing a parade and white gloves, putting on white gloves and doing a dance and sending it in the mail with this full escort of entourage of people. And that changed it. That's how every time you bought a TEDx Salem ticket, you did that. And just how to approach your life and make everything extra special for anybody. I love that. It's so good, and I've already run out of time. He's anti-busyness, pro-happiness. Like I said, he'll kind of change your perspective on many things. Even if you don't go his way, it'll just make you look at everything differently. He's so great. Definitely check him out, Derek Sivers.
Oh my gosh, I want to read all those books.
Yeah, and okay, here's the best thing. They are super short. And I don't say that just because and actually, even though they're super short, what I would do, and he actually suggests this, is just take a chapter. It's only 1 or 2 pages, but it is so distilled down. He will take years and years of thoughts and all of his things, put them down, and just distill it down to the most powerful paragraph he can think of. Couple paragraphs, that's one chapter, and I would read that on that day and just contemplate it for the rest of the day and think about it. And then the next day, I'd read one more chapter. And, I'd of course skip some days here and there. Maybe one day I would read 2. But really, if you can just read 1 chapter a day and it'll take you 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. But it is so powerful. Yeah. It's amazing it's so good. I can't recommend this guy enough. And he is seriously one of the biggest influences on my life. So I want more people to know about him, even though he's decently well known, but
yeah. Are all the books, are they hard copy,
you
ebook,
can't now. This is
audiobook?
another cool thing. I think anything you want, I believe you can get anywhere, but I think the rest of them, he's all self-published, and you can only get him through his website, which I actually like because I'm supporting him directly. But I got the digital, I think the digital and the audio versions you can get. Then once you buy those, you can get the paperback for just a few dollars.
Okay.
He makes it super affordable. Everything's super affordable. When you get it, he'll email you, and he does have that personal touch. And then he's like, I really want you to respond to me. And so I said something to him, and he himself emailed me back. It was super short and everything, but still, who does that anymore? That's that echelon of big and busy. I mean, this would be like getting a handwritten note from Tim Ferriss or an personalized email from Tim Ferriss after his book. I had to pay a lot of money to get on a conference call with him with hundreds of other people, which was still cool. But yeah, his personal touch is incredible because I'm sure he's getting thousands of books sold. And like I said, it was short, but he was just like, that sounds really cool. Keep at it. I told him what I was up to, whatever his question was. That he wanted me to answer on his email. So yeah, all those links will be on our show notes where you can get his books and more info about him.
Yep, check out the show notes at 10bestest.com/best of 2021.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
I'm going to check.
welcome.
I definitely want to check out his books and then everything
because
else.
you love that talk so much, you'll love everything he does. And that music one is the only book I haven't read, which you'll probably love it even more.
Yeah.
You'll definitely like Hell Yeah or No. Everything he does. And he does book reports, so he'll I read this book, here's what I liked, here's what I didn't like, here's if it's worth reading. He does a little summary of it. He's a magnificent person.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us, friend. I'm Karen McFarland-Holman.
And I'm Brian Hart.
Let us know in the comments, where do you hope to go on your next vacation?
And let us know what inspires you.
If you're enjoying the show, please give us a like and share it with a friend.
Stay tuned tomorrow for another great show.
And don't forget to stay curious.